TNA Bound for Glory was very, very good. It was off the chain. It was pretty awesome. It started with the Hall of Fame ceremony where they inducted Mickie James, Velvet Sky, and Angelina Love. It was very classy. Um, it put over female wrestling. It was very, very good. They're surprised the Inspiration retained the tag team championships. They just won these titles. There was no reason to switch the titles. It made sense. I understand why they did it. Now, Steve Macklin winning the title, I really liked. I didn't see it coming. I thought Frankie Kazarian would retain. But Steve Macklin winning the title was probably the right decision. Obviously the story's going to continue. I really thought this was surprising and is really good. Actually, maybe it won't continue because Frankie Kazarian is probably going to head towards the world title picture. But this story was phenomenal because he won the Call Your Shot. I'll talk about that in a second. Tessa Blanchard was the right call. She should have won this match. I'm glad she did. I thought that Gia Miller might win this, and I wasn't for that. I'm glad that Tessa Blanchard won this match. Again, I was very excited with the way this card was going so far. And then in the Call Your Shot, it came down to Nick Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian co-winning the Call Your Shot tournament. From a storyline perspective, this is very interesting. I definitely I like it. I know that the fans were chanting bullshit, but from a storyline standpoint, I thought this made a lot of sense. It was very creative. It gives them a lot of places to go with stories with Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth, putting both of them in the title picture. Definitely, it's interesting and can even have them feuding. There's a lot of different ways this could go. It opens up the door for different ways to tell stories. Now, Jordan beating Indy Hartwell. Of all the ones I didn't like the most, it was that Jordan retained the knockout title. But considering how much stuff there was that I liked on this pay-per-view, I'll take it. Jordan, I was really wanting Indy Hartwell to win the title, but she does appear to be more green than I realized she was. Maybe she can get better in the ring. But Jordan winning the title was not something I was a big fan of. But anyways, but there's so much that I liked on the show, I was okay with it. I wasn't really okay when it happened, but by the end of the show, I was like, I can take it. Also, I predicted Order 4 would win their match. They didn't. I enjoyed the unpredictability of this show. They didn't do a lot of predictable stuff. The system won, and I really enjoyed the fact that I was surprised by the system winning the match. I don't know where they're going storyline wise, but the surprise was definitely made it worth it, and I enjoyed it. Also, Alicia Edwards going on the thumbtacks was insane. It took a while for them to actually show the thumbtacks in her back, but when they showed the thumbtacks in her back, the realization of that she really ate those thumbtacks sunk in. They should have put a camera on her back a lot quicker than they did. It took a couple of minutes for them to actually show the thumbtacks in her back, but it was freaking awesome. Now, Evans versus Leon Slater. I'll say this. I know a lot of people are not going to like the fact that it ended with Dark State beating down both of them. From a storyline standpoint, it really makes sense. You can prolong the story. You're opening the door, especially with the TV deal in the future for TNA. You want a lot of different stories to have a lot of different directions they can go. It leaves the story for a rematch open. It also leaves the door for something to do with feuding with Dark State open. So maybe the System versus Dark State. I can see that. Anyways, there's a lot of different ways you could go. I understand why they did it, and I don't like the idea that Bound for Glory doesn't end the storyline, and the storylines are progressing past Bound for Glory, because I think Bound for Glory is supposed to be where storylines end. But considering the importance of a new television deal and having new, fresh storylines to go into the Genesis pay-per-view and their new TV deal, I understand the importance of wanting to have shows that are compelling and that have history behind the story. So I understand why they're doing it from a company standpoint as far as the TV deal and having stories that are ready to go with gasoline on them. And then, to no surprise, Chris Bay comes out and announces that they have set a new all-time North America attendance record, 7,794. That is no surprise. I seen them setting the attendance record. I'm glad they did, and that's great. Now, as for the Hardys versus Team 3D, it was very obvious that Devon just can't go anymore. But this was all about nostalgia, and they did the best they could. And the storytelling was awesome, as you would expect from these guys. They're veterans, and they really did a good job of storytelling. Was it a 5-star match? Not by any means, but it was a great story. And when Devon and Bubba took off their boots, it really meant something. It was a special, special moment. And finally, we get to the main event. I've been waiting for this storyline for I'm saying 2+ years. They've been building this storyline, and Mike Santana finally realizes his dream of being World Heavyweight Champion, and he conquers the WWE, the evil empire. He beats the evil empire leader. It was like he was defeating Satan. It was truly the win of all wins, and obviously the best Bound for Glory ending to any of the Bound for Glories in the past. There's never been a Bound for Glory that had an ending this good. I think that only thing that comes close is when Sting won, or AJ when he won. But all those stories didn't compare to this story. Mike Santana winning the world title meant the most. He didn't need help from somebody else like AJ needed help at No Surrender. I know that wasn't about her glory, but he didn't need help. He did it himself. He's a homegrown talent. He is the face of TNA now, and he is the World Heavyweight Champion, and he defeated the WWE, and it comes off like that. It feels like he defeated the WWE. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. It feels like he beat the machine. He beat the freaking machine, and that's why this match works. And his daughter coming in the ring and him handing the championship to his daughter, I just brought tears to my eyes. Literally wanted to cry. It was so freaking awesome. What a great moment. And it brings pleasure to say this: Mike Santana is the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. It doesn't get any freaking better than this. Thank you for watching. I'm Ken Jones. Subscribe and like the video.